The 2025 Sustainable Infrastructure Development Symposium is underway in Cape Town. Now, the event brings together key stakeholders, experts and decision makers in the field of infrastructure development. This includes infrastructure investment opportunities, with President Cyril Ramaphosa expected to deliver a keynote address tomorrow. For more now, we cross to our reporter, Bulelani Phillip. Good afternoon, Bulelani. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Juliet. Of course, the 2025 Sustainable Infrastructure Development Symposium of South Africa is currently underway here at the Century City International Convention Center, talking all things investment and as well as attracting private partnerships with the government. And today, of course, the main focus is around how South Africa can be able to tap into some of these infrastructure development projects, both in the country as well as in the region, as well as also attracting public-private partnerships. Joining me now in this conversation is Sihle Zikalala, the Deputy Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure. Thank you so much, DM, for your time. Firstly, yesterday in the introduction of this symposium, you talked a lot about how the government wants to attract private partnerships with the government. How is that going to unfold?
Well, we are going to ensure that we use a triple P's method. It is either, if it is the buildings, renovate, operate and transfer, or if it is an infrastructure project, we also use all of those triple P methods that are available. We are happy that the Treasurer is fast-tracking the issue of regulations that will guide on how to implement and ensure that the private sector plays a role in funding infrastructure, even the public infrastructure.
Talk about public-private partnerships. In the mind of labor unions, it might be seen as a privatization. How do you intend to quell that perception?
Well, the ownership will remain with the state. The ownership will remain with the state. We will want to see private sector investing for a particular time, then hand over to the state. That's how some of the triple P's work, like build, operate, and transfer.
All right. The other issue that you've talked to yesterday was the issue around taking unsolicited bids. I know the former Chief Justice Raymond Zondo will take a dim view in terms of that because he sees it as a recipe for corruption. How are you going to ensure that at least you go out on a tender to ascertain whether there is competition in that space or not?
Once there is unsolicited bid, it is good, it is always proper to test the market whether such an unsolicited bid is not undermining other potential players. And therefore, we accept that we must consider unsolicited bid, but also test the market because we must remain transparent. We must also ensure that there is competitiveness.
Talk to us about this book that will be released or launched at this conference regarding the next 12 months in terms of the book, the pipeline infrastructure development projects, as well as quantifying how much are we talking about?
Well, we are talking of more than 200 projects. It includes the national project of various departments and entities, as well as local projects. We want to ensure that there is one entry point in terms of infrastructure development and coordination. It is a second book. We launched the first book last year, and we are releasing the second one tomorrow.
Lastly, before I let you go, the issue of the construction mafia, does it remain an impediment to development?
It does. However, we are dealing with it, and we must commend the work of the police in this regard. We've seen the decrease, but we're saying let us ensure that there is facilitation. That's why as the department will be taking to Cabinet a social facilitation policy that we want to roll out so that we continue to include local contractors, local people in development, but do so in a proper way.
Thank you so much. Sihle Zikalala is the Deputy Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure.